Yes, we forgot.
Oh, by the way, we're recording. Oh,
Hey,
look at that,
hey.
everybody.
This is usually the best stuff.
We got a show. We warmed everybody up. And, oh, by the way, welcome. This is DETALKSCAST number 2, for those curious. We've got here Levi. Levi, why don't you introduce our guest?
So I've got a very close friend of mine, a man that I truly respect and enjoy and love. And he's got his beautiful wife with us, Kevin Davis and Michelle Davis.
Hey,
welcome,
guys.
Hello.
And Anthony's in the corner.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I just didn't want you to forget about me.
But we are filming, so this way you guys can also see everybody.
He's still there.
Check 'em out.
YouTube hasn't
No, I just wanted to jump in. That's going to be my input for the night.
So we've been trying to do this for most of the year.
Yeah.
Honestly, to get you guys down here since you've been taking those trips back and forth to Bodie's garage.
Yes.
And, or is it Bogey's?
Bogey.
Bogey's,
Yep.
sorry.
Yes,
Bogey's
that's okay.
garage to work on the Chevy Montage project.
Yes, that's
So-
correct.
And so we've been trying to get him on, but you finally made it, which is awesome. It's late, but they made it. They drove the Sugar High motorhome, the Helper brand.
Yeah,
Helper
we
one.
call it Jimmy because if you look at the front of it, it's got a big nose. So for all you young people, you have no idea who this is, but Jimmy Durante was an actor back in the day, and he has a big schnoz. So that's why we call it Jimmy.
So they brought the motorhome Jimmy and Sugar High on the back, and you pulled Sugar High off, and we got some pictures of it, so we'll put them up there. You'll be able to see
it right now.
Dane filmed some stuff, so you guys will be able to check that out. We splice it all up, and you're headed down because the rally's starting, the Rebelle Rally.
Rebelle Rally.
Rebelle
yes,
Rally, and it's the second year.
It is. It's a second year. We are headed down to Tahoe, actually, Lake Tahoe area, where it's going to start. Tech starts on Thursday, and then we have some training, some rally school on Friday, and then the official start is on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah.
And does Andrea live down there? Andrea Schaefer, your co-pilot?
Yeah, she lives in Vegas, actually.
Oh,
We
okay.
are meeting her in Reno, though. We're picking her up in Reno and
cool.
heading down with her.
And her husband's got the support system for the kids all set up this year.
Yes, he does.
Should be an old hand at it after last year.
He's got the most difficult job of all of us. She's got 3 little kids, so yeah.
And a handful of anti-anxiety meds because last year it was a little rough on us last year. So.
Well, and what last year you bent an axle, and what else happened? Was that it? Was that the only breakage?
I wish that was the only breakage. We flew off a sand dune. Yeah, we bent the front axle. The back shocks came up through the floorboards.
That's right. I remember that.
It broke out the whole back glass. Then there was just, what was everything? I don't even remember. It was just all sorts of random stuff
Bumper,
too.
front axle.
That's right.
Yeah, so we had a temporary axle in. They put the normal axle in the Rubicon's a Dana 44, which is a thicker axle, and they put one. They
Dana
found
30.
a Dana 30. Yeah. Some guys in California had one, and so they let them use it. They finished the rally, and
each day was kind of we weren't quite sure if we were going to make it to the next day because, they did what they could to get us going, but then you're off road all day. So, we had to take it pretty easy, but still by the end of each day, things were falling apart again. And so we have to go through the night with mechanics working on it again. And our whole goal became just to finish.
Yeah.
And we did.
But you did. That was so awesome.
And we actually didn't even come in last place.
Which is even better. And then, so for those that don't know and haven't actually, I don't know how they don't know about you guys or about the Rebelle Rally, but tell us a little about it.
Okay.
It's women only.
Yes, it's all female. It is a navigation rally, so it's all compass and map. There's no GPS allowed. So we start in Lake Tahoe area. It ends in near San Diego area. Right. We actually don't know the route. We're not.
You don't know it beforehand.
No, it's all secret. It's day by each morning.
And there are waypoints that they give you, right?
Yes, there's checkpoints. So each morning we're given maps for the day, and we have checkpoints we have to find. They are worth different amounts of points depending on the difficulty, difficulty to find and difficulty to drive to the checkpoints. So you accumulate points and you get through. It's 10 days total, 7 days of competition, and then like I said, we end up somewhere.
And
near
you sleep
San
in, and you camp out of your vehicle as well.
Yeah, we have to bring our own camp gear.
Yeah, you got to bring our own camp gear. So you're basically living in that vehicle for those days that you're doing the rally.
The 7 days, yes. We do have a base camp. So there's a big camp that follows us. They do provide food for us, all but one night. There is one night that we have to self-camp.
Okay.
But so we have, in fact, they bring in a 5-star chef. So it's,
nice. Actually, they make nice food. It's not just
really
camp food.
Good.
Right.
No.
Right.
It's the night
We got
that
some pork and beans, and here you go, ladies.
And that's it.
Sorry.
The night we self-camp, we have MREs. And so, that night you're kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's this again.
Yeah, but everything else is, they really take care of us.
Well,
But it's 12 hours each day in the vehicle.
Yeah.
It's
Long
2,000
days.
kilometers, so 1,200 miles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a 7 days, 12 to 14 hours each day. That's a lot of
Yeah.
seat time. So.
Yeah. Well, and the fun part is, though, Michelle, you built that Jeep. With Kevin's assistance.
That's right.
That's right.
He only just kind of handed you tools.
Yeah.
We all know that.
He just
built
looks
it.
good. He takes selfies and combs his hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Hand me
Exactly.
that socket
it.
wrench.
I'm like,
Yeah.
can you move from the dash? I need to take
She's
a
like,
picture
she's
right
like, I
now."
needed a
I'm doing
12
it.
millimeter deep socket. Kevin, this is a 10 millimeter box end wrench. What's wrong with you? Come on.
That's right.
Trying to work with
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
But yeah.
But and then you filmed that whole process of building the Jeep originally before the first rally,
Yeah.
yes.
which is pretty spectacular because it looked like some of the ladies had store-bought trucks.
Ooh.
Oh,
I
well,
noticed.
Yeah.
It
there
is-
are, yeah.
The rally is designed for just stock vehicles.
Yeah.
And in fact, they really emphasize that you can just put some off-road tires on it and you can take a stock vehicle.
Yeah.
But we wanted to, before the rally even came about, I just wanted to start learning about building. He's built cars since he was a teenager. I've been a stay-at-home mom, so I didn't really have the time to get in the shop with him. And our kids are grown. They're out of the house now. So I was like, well, I want to start, joining my husband and learning too. But he's done more hot rods and I'm kind of more into the Jeep type stuff. So he's like, well, the Jeep's a great first project car. So
Yeah. And
that's,
Little did I know.
Project. Yeah.
So we went from buying an 04 Rubicon for me to do a project with, and then within a few weeks, the next thing we knew, I was signed up for the Rebelle. We got people coming,
Got sponsors.
We were going to be in SEMA. It just kind of exploded.
That's like the Kevin Davis way.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's
all right.
It's like, you want to do what? Okay, let me call some people. Let's form a brand. Let's get a website.
Yeah.
Let's, build a full sponsors pack and all that stuff. And then between last year and this year, we actually started a formal company, Sugar Motorsports. We incorporated the Cobra and all kinds of different stuff. But yeah, we shot a full series on the first build, and then we had the fire.
Yep.
And then we shot a second build series.
So for those that don't know, the Jeep actually caught on fire being towed behind. It actually slipped from neutral into drive.
Well, the transfer case,
happened?
you put the transfer case in neutral and the transmission in park, and somehow, and I always test, and we had done like 15,000 miles.
Somehow it just popped.
Yeah, there's enough synchros in the transfer case that heated up the transmission to 600 degrees by the time the fire department got there.
Yeah.
And it transferred through and basically melted the plastic and the
interior,
wire. And then it melted all that. So.
But you said that the one thing you didn't want to see, though, one thing you didn't want to see, though, was when you guys got pulled over because there was flames coming out of the back of the the Jeep was actually on fire, and you got pulled over for that.
We were in the motorhome, and so the Jeep was behind it, so we actually couldn't see it, and it happened to be a foggy day, so the white smoke actually we thought was fog, and a cop came, pulled us over, and we were just like, oh man, we weren't speeding. What were they going to give us a ticket for? And then he's yelling at us, you're on fire, and they were like, man, I wish we had gotten a ticket for something.
Yeah.
But
little PSA: if you do not carry a 5-pound fire extinguisher in your vehicle, we use 2 of them. For the Jeep. So carry those little 1-pounders.
Not going to do it.
Those are a waste. So
but little silver lining, you guys got to fix the Jeep yourselves.
Absolutely.
And didn't get totaled or any of that kind of stuff.
It did get totaled.
Oh, it did? Even better. Hey, you got some money.
They totaled it. We bought it back. They charged us way too much for it, but we bought it because, there was no other option. We were going to keep that Jeep. So
well, and like you said, it was just the interior and the wiring, so you started piecing it all back together, but you built a beautiful custom dash. Jeez, dude, I watched you every post you were
pretty
doing.
good. That's very modest.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's like it's all like
perfect.
It's all CNC'd and lights up and has all these buttons. Yeah, it came out pretty good.
It's about as many switches as a cockpit in a plane now.
Well, you saw the little remove before flight key tag on there.
I think somebody has that same key tag on.
Well, hot cars like Sugar High and my 06 Elantra. They need those warnings beforehand.
But has yours actually flown like ours has?
Well, I hit a speed bump pretty hard this winter, so I felt like I was in the air. I'm not sure. There was a lot of snow on the ground. So.
Well, I keep joking about the fire. I'm pretty sure she did it on purpose because she designed the door panels. Door panels are all aluminum too, and so the only plastic is the surround that goes around the windshield.
Okay.
And she hated all that plastic, so I'm assuming she did.
There you go. Yeah.
Plus, moving from all those multi-switch things that you have on your dash and all that to these
just simple flips
are so much better.
Oh, I can't remember anything. So this way, I've got labels everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and then the one of the things that I thought was the coolest thing when you guys were posting that on Facebook was your Wonder Woman.
Oh,
she survived.
Yep.
She did.
Through that fire. So
she started off as a Caucasian. She then became African American. And then after we cleaned her up, she is now Hispanic.
Hey, all right, yeah.
So her skin color's changed a bit. Her hair did melt a little bit, but it's still, trimmed up good. And she's still there, and she's going with us on the rally again.
Yeah, I saw her up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll make sure we get some pictures of all this stuff so you can put it all together.
It's awesome. Yeah, that was one of the things that I showed my daughter because she's a big Wonder Woman fan, and so when she saw that, she was like, she thought that was really cool that one that you have that. And she goes, why don't we have one in our car? And she goes, because I could play with it. And I said, well, you're in the back seat. You don't need to worry about it. You've got one anyway. But she wanted to make sure there was always one. She thought that was neat though that Wonder Woman was still in the car, and because I showed her when you guys were getting ready to go originally, and so. She thought that was pretty neat.
Well, we had, I don't know if you saw on Facebook, we had a family of skunks that came to our house.
Oh, boy.
And so they ended up, there was 4 of them, and one of them was like a rebellious teenager, so he got left behind. So I had to build this like cardboard contraption in order to get him out because it was down on the window well. So we
I did. Yes.
So we went through this whole saga.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I had to MacGyver this thing, and so one of the ladies from the Rebelle, Nina Barlow.
Wait, before you finish there though, once he finally got out, we left. Our dog got a hold of him, killed him, brought him in the house.
I forgot that part.
And was sprayed. Didn't he get sprayed too?
Yes, he got sprayed too. Yes, and then the whole house reeked like skunk.
Nothing like cleaning skunk shrapnel off the wall.
Yeah, there was body parts on the wall. In the living room, it was.
They're dachshunds. What do you expect?
So we go to a weekend training, and Nina Barlow, who has an awesome. If you ever want to rent a Jeep in Sedona, call Nina. But she got her a Wonder Woman riding a skunk. So that sits on the dash in the motorhome with the minion. So
Nice.
We're into our mascots, I guess.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So this starts this year. Do you know of any of the other? Are there a lot of the returning teams?
There are quite a few girls returning. Some of them are the original teams. There's also quite a few that are coming back with a different teammate. That either it may have been someone who also competed and they just kind of teamed up, or they're bringing someone else new back with them. But I'm sticking with my navigator. Her and I, we got along really good.
She's really cool. I got when I got to see you guys at SEMA last year. It was a lot of. She was just awesome. Easy, like you guys, just easy to talk to. Just happy, excited. So
yeah, she's great.
She's cool. So that was rad. So moving, those of you that don't know,
we haven't talked about any of like the most important part of this podcast yet. We haven't talked about any of the cool
belts.
I know. That's kind of what.
So we were just talking. Anthony's looking to get it. Yeah.
Runs the.
There's on those Jeeps, on those 4-liters. It is just one belt. It is just one belt. It is a serpentine belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No timing belt or anything.
Yeah, nothing like that. What Anthony's trying to say is he wants to know about the Detailer's Helper belt because he kind of wants one.
Everybody wants to know about the Detailer's Helper belt.
So, Kevin, can you tell us how you started Detailer's Helper? Those of you that don't know, we do sell them on our website, ragcompany.com. You can pick one up.
Yeah, we have multiple versions.
We have all the versions.
Yeah, we have all the versions. Pick them up today.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was waiting for you to finish
Sell these,
your
try and get these down.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Keep the plug going.
So, how did you start Detailer's Helper and why?
So I've owned a web development, app development company since '99. So, which means I'm really old and I actually know how to write code instead of all the visual stuff that everybody else does now. So we ended up with some
the founders of the internet.
I was there with Al Gore. Al Gore and I were there. We created it. Yeah, we created it.
He took all the credit.
Yeah. And then he went off on that global warming. I don't know what his problem is. We ended up with some really large projects. And for those of you guys that do any of this kind of stuff where you're doing long-term projects or whatever, the web development stuff sort of dried up because I was too busy working and not doing enough sales. And so I went back and started detailing. I started another company, doing detailing full-time.
Yep.
And over the course of my life, I've done tons of DIY stuff. Like I built all our decks and all that. So I'm always wearing a tool belt,
right?
For anything DIY. And so when I started detailing, I remember distinctly I had my feet. I was getting ready to do a door on a '69 GTO black, which somebody did a courtesy wash on, which looked so awesome.
They helped you.
Anyway, I'm polishing that. Had my feet underneath the door, getting ready to polish, and my bottle was back behind the bumper, which is where they always are. And I was like, this is really stupid. Why don't I have a way to carry all this stuff around? So I went out and looked on the internet and trying to find a tool belt. And there was one on there, but it just didn't really suit my needs. It had some metal grommets on it and some different stuff. And then I looked at all the leather tool belts and all that. So didn't have one. At the time, I used tons of different types of products, from Adams to Meguiar's to all the different companies. And so I actually took those products and sewed bags to carry all the stuff that I use. Yeah. Which is essentially the standard version that we have now. I sewed the first prototype on her sewing machine, tested it out.
It's a little nerve-wracking when your husband says, can I borrow your sewing machine?
I got a project. Here we're going to do this.
There was no lace involved, so we're all good there.
You don't want to be here for this. You want to leave.
Yeah. So we sewed the prototype and started getting them made and started selling them. And basically we had to reinvent the workflow in detailing, and we're still struggling against it.
So it's been 3 years since you guys I got mine hand delivered by Kevin. It was quite nice. He actually came to my shop, brought it to me.
He'll do that for everyone.
So that was pretty awesome.
Some fees may apply.
Yeah, they just happened to be in Boise when they did it. But it was something that like Matt and I had been thinking about, because we've been seeing you guys on Facebook and seeing the belts and looking at it. And we came, I've been doing this 20 years. I had a boss who would wear an apron and just shorts. He wouldn't wear a shirt. He'd just wear his apron. And I never
kiss the cook.
Yeah, I never wanted to just. I always associated that with him, an apron, and so I never used an apron, and I never I just didn't want to. It was, and I thought it was weird. He literally would. Well, it didn't matter what temperature it was.
Oh, sick.
He didn't have a T-shirt on.
Levi, can you hand me my apron, please?
Basically,
I'm not touching that.
Yeah,
keep it.
Yeah, and it was a filthy apron. We'll put it that. It wasn't. It's not like a nice. It wasn't a nice one. It was a really cheap one. So that was. So I never used an apron, and so I started trying to figure out something. And we got those little magnet cups that you could set on the car, but same thing. That just seemed counterintuitive. We're still putting the bottle on the car, so let's put it on the window. But it just never worked because you'd forget. You'd go around like you said. And then we had been talking about getting the helper belts, and then that's when we saw you were in town. And you were coming up, and then I messaged him and said, hey, you want to come by the shop? And that's when you said, do you got some belts? And I was like, no. And then you brought me some belts, and my kids have one, to the point that my kids still use that one.
Oh, really?
When I wash the car, I wash every Saturday. I wash both cars in our garage, and my kids will fight over the one and run back in. And usually Hadley will say, I got to get my belt. Or if Augie is hanging out, and he sees me and he gets a bottle, he goes, and then he'll run in and grab it out of the toy box and carry it in and show me, and then I put it on. He only wears it for a few minutes, but Hadley will wear hers all over the rest of the day if I keep it on her.
Yeah, so what he's talking about, we have a consumer, we have multiple brands, and we have a consumer brand called Little Helper, which is for little kids.
Yeah, and honestly, I never thought a little kid would have. Oh man, our sign just tipped off there.
Our sign
peeled off. Just take it down.
That's the sign. It's time to go.
Real sad. It's been up there for about.
Isn't the first time.
Yeah, it's not the first time. We literally tried to install it on Friday. It looks like the Velcro is literally
just really
de-sticking from that.
There's that, guys.
Yeah.
It's the back that's more the concern.
Oh, you have to show it off? Come on.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't think that a little kid would, like, when I got it, I was like, oh, this will be great. And I gave it to him, and my kids lost their minds over it.
That's
like,
crazy.
Augie was little, but Hadley was like, she shoves toys in it. Like, they actually started figuring out what to use it for. Hadley uses it and sticks, like, if you put it on them, they will find stuff to do with it.
Yeah.
Which is actually a lot of fun. And they really enjoy it because I get to a point where I can't touch a car now without having that belt on, to the point that I've done videos with these guys and I feel weird when I don't have it on, to where I'm like, I got to run up the stairs. Hold on a second. I got to go get that. Yeah. So it's become an extension of me in how I detail cars. So if you haven't bought one, you need to.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it increases your workflow. Yep. You're able to get more done. What did you guys figure out?
Chris West actually did that on his own right after we launched this thing. Chris and I have become good friends, but he actually took 2 cars, 4-door cars, did basic details, took 2 different guys. One wore a belt, one didn't. They saved a half an hour.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if you save, I did a post the other day talking about ROI.
Yeah.
The thing pays for itself in 2 or 3 cars.
Yeah, and it does. It does.
I mean, and you want good tools that do that. And Detailer's Helper, I think, is one that makes you efficient enough. And so we have the standard, which is sort of all about efficiency. Then we did the HD, which is good for RVs and planes.
Yeah, it comes with more bags. It's a little stronger, heavier duty.
And it's got a thing where you can put your polisher in it. We have a new loop that's coming out that's sort of a subset of that, too.
Oh, cool.
So if you're climbing, you don't have to, one hand on your polisher and one hand going up. So we have that, and then we have a production model, and then we have a bunch of different bags. So
for janitorial and
within Detailer's Helper line. For Nano, we have interior bags.
Those bags,
we have the coating bags and all that, and then we have other brands,
belts.
Cleaner's Helper for janitorial. We're trying to get into like hotels and that kind of stuff. And then we have a couple.
So Anthony, you could get a helper belt to hold your Nano.
For those who don't know, in our most recent video, our 500K detail job, I'm wearing a limited edition.
It is a limited edition
helper belt. It is limited edition in black and lime green. You guys can't find it. I'm the only one that has it. You might be able to find one, but
we had a consumer brand called the Helper, which we rebranded recently called Handy Helper, but we had the green version.
It's a
classic logo.
It's very nice.
Is what it is. But
I gave it to him because I had one.
Yeah.
And so I had it in my kit. I built it, put it together for him because I had some bags and a belt, and threw it together and handed it to Anthony. I was like, just give it a try, see what you think, because he wants to get one. So that we'll just try it out and see. I didn't know you were going to shoot a video.
I know. The biggest video we've ever made.
I know, the highest production video we ever made. And I
we sell detailer helper belts downstairs.
But when I was
could have taken one of those.
When I was using it, I didn't realize. I'm like, okay, the Nano, like my little iBrid would have helped, because I actually had it in the pouch, but it was kind of like a big, little kangaroo hanging out of a pouch. Like it was kind of waiting to fall out. Where I'm like, if I had a slim pouch, like he says he has, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we made one so it fits the long neck and short neck. So we're trying to. I mean, and I saw all these prototypes.
Yeah, and they got one for PPF too, or what was it?
Right now I'm testing a waterproof
nice
version, so that would be for the film guys, because the cotton ones, they off thread, and so you get stuff in your PPF film and all that. So we're having a couple of different guys.
The waterproof liner style.
Waterproof. Nice. It's fully waterproofed. I have an apron we're working on that's fully waterproof. So all the sweaty guy that you're
I may have to.
Don't have to be afraid.
We're still in touch. We still talk a lot, so I might be able to sell them one of those.
But we're designing an apron that has some different features on it, so it's not just your standard kind of thing. So we want to continue with the efficiency thing, and it's a companion to the belt. So, but anyway.
That's cool.
That's the story of the belt, I think.
Well, and like I said, like one of my favorite things is like Matt and I started using our belts, and everybody that came through our shop, so all my employees, we got them belts and made them wear belts. They all started utilizing them and liking them. And for those guys that are like on the fence on it, like you said, there's that ROI. If your employees can get faster and quicker with it, and you tell them use this, it's going to make you more money and me more money. Why not? Like it, you know.
Well, even if you cut that number from 30 minutes to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
2 weeks later for $60, $80, it's literally paid.
Well, and I always explain it.
And they last forever. I actually think I made them too good because
they do. They do.
They last for. We have originals that have been worn every day for the last 3 years, and they're still no rips. No
Mine's
tears,
is still the same one that it's down there by the Jeep. And
in those environments, you know, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I wanted to point out. So when we were in Seattle,
we were for Air Force One.
Air Force One. So we show up, right? Every single person has a detailer's helper belt.
Yep.
And so when they recruited Levi and myself to polish one of the engines there, they look at us and they say, all right, you have your belts. And I look at him and Levi's
Keith is like, where's your belts? Keith and Kyle.
Levi's first
like, where's your belt?
Is mine's back at the shop. And they look at me and I'm like, I don't have one. And they look at me and they're like, what do you mean?
What do you mean you don't have one?
And I'm like, I don't have one. He's like, well, here, he like adjusts it.
Yeah,
and
Keith
like,
gave Anthony his
he's
to
like,
wear.
Put this on, and I put it on, and he's like, all right, and here's this. And I'm putting all these things in my pouches. I'm like, all right, I think I'm ready to go. Do I look legit? Everybody's looking at me like that noob. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know how to wear the belt.
That's funny. Yeah, we've been we teamed up with those guys early on, and so we've really enjoyed being a part of that.
Yeah, it was fun to hang out with all those guys and be down there for that and see that. And I actually called you because I wanted to make sure we wanted to do that because we've never done, but you've been a sponsor every year for the Air Force One.
And those guys are great. They're
awesome guys.
They really supported Michelle with her sugar ice stuff. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Winnie Doyle actually got
foamed. Got coated in foam.
Like, I mean, we cried watching it because it was just like, that's a big deal.
That's not a Rennie. It's not a Rennie thing to do.
No.
So those guys have really just, so many people in the industry you become real close friends with, like us, and it's just, I mean, there's some really good people.
And it's fun. Like, I love it. I love that we can all hang out, say hi, and have fun, and just enjoy each other's company and past experiences in life and all that good stuff. I actually missed my belt really badly because right after that, I flew to Florida to meet with Matt Mormon of Obsessed Garage, and he was having a party where he brought 15 guys from around the country, and we all just had a detailing weekend. Called it a spa day or spa weekend. And
were there pedicures involved?
Yeah. For his cars, not for us, but him and his wife Michelle opened their house and just we hung out. And 15 guys from around the country, 17. None of us had actually met each other physically. Not all of us had, but man, we got down there and just had a blast. But that was the one thing that I remember. I was so pissed that I didn't bring with me on my bag. Was that because I needed it?
Did the other guys? None
of the other guys had one. The only person that did was Corey Caruth.
Yeah.
Of CarPro. He had his with him because he lives like an hour away.
Yeah.
And so I was...
Even if he forgot it, he could go get it.
Yeah, he could have ran home and got it. But I was so mad. So when I came back, I bought a kit, like a box, so I can, when I fly, if I ever go do any of those things, we can put our polishers, our equipment, our lights. Right. I can put my bag. Because guys were doing that. They had brought kits and all that stuff with them. So,
well, you just described the uphill battle for us is changing that mindset that, just like the, new polishers and all that stuff. It's one thing that if you add it to your workflow and you give it a chance, it will absolutely save your time. And it's funny because I just wired this whole Jeep.
Yeah.
And I
used my
HD, for the whole time because I've got butt connectors in there and my tools and all wires and all that stuff. I use it for everything. She uses hers whenever.
Yeah.
And for the Bogies montage project.
Yeah, you got them all set.
We made custom purple ones. Purple with her logo on them and all that. So
No, that's rad. I like it. I love that belt. And again, we got to get you one.
So what I noticed is that, so basically take the amount of time, like if you don't have one, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't have one, think about how many times, like Kevin mentioned, where you leave your polish on the backside of the car and you walk to go get it. You stand up, go walk over there and pick it up, right? Or you leave your spray bottle around the other side and you go pick your, like how much time I spend walking around. I need to put like a pedometer. Is that what it's called? To count your steps, right?
Count your steps.
To know how many steps I'm making detailing a car, because it's way more than it should when I can just, sit there on either, like basically I had a little Harbor Freight, what I have, a little stool I was sitting on.
Yeah, you were sitting on
a rolling stool. Between having the stool and having the little seat and the belt, I felt like I had everything I could ever need.
Yeah, you do.
Like I was ready to store like a sandwich in my helper belt. You said, Levi, you said
was it Jose Fernandez?
We know for a fact it holds beer, corn nuts, burritos, tacos. Israel Verrett he likes to put his lattes in there. Yeah. Probably hair care products, knowing him.
Yeah, you never know.
It'll hold all sorts of stuff. But even with the stool, one thing I've noticed is if you have to bend over to pick stuff up off your stool, it's actually faster to just get it right out of your belt. The fun thing for me to watch now is the new trend is all these detailers that shoot these time-lapse videos of themselves. Yeah. And if you watch those, you will count the number of times they're going back and forth to get stuff. Yeah, drives me crazy.
No, and it's funny because
you could shorten this video by 30 seconds.
Yeah, and Yvonne always touts that at every training he comes into. He always says that's the one thing Yvonne LaCroix is that count your steps.
Yeah,
record yourself. Watch that video again and see, and that's the first thing he tells people: buy that belt to save yourself some time.
Mm-hmm. And his 2-bucket method is 1 bucket on each side.
1 bucket on each side, and train it to train it to follow you.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
There you go.
So, but so then when you guys also Michelle, you've been down for Bogey's Garage. Yes. You're working on that.
Yeah,
and that's a 57 Chevy pickup.
57 Chevy pickup, yeah. So this was
And Bogey's from All Girls Garage.
She is, yeah. There's All Girls Garage. She's one of the hosts on there.
Velocity Channel.
On the Velocity Channel, yes. I had been watching it as we started on the Jeep project and stuff, so I could start learning some things from her. And when we were at SEMA last year, I got an opportunity to meet her, and I was telling her about the Jeep, and we started talking, and she's like, "Well, hey, you should come down to Phoenix and join me on this project I'm doing." So she hands me this card with this information, and she's doing this all-female build, and she was bringing in women from all over the country, a lot of professionals in the various areas, but then also some newbies like me to work alongside them and learn from them. And so she said, just come down for whatever you can. And little did she know that I was going to
You're like, I'll be down for as many of those. We have a motorhome. I don't know if you knew that.
Exactly. My kids are gone. We got a motorhome, and my husband
can work wherever.
I think we ended up at 16 weeks. Our plan was 17. She had to come home one trip. Yeah. But I lived in that motorhome for 5 months this year. Yeah. She was at work. She just slaps me on the ass. Yeah. She's like,
peace out.
I'll see you in 12 hours.
Yeah. He's making good sandwiches now.
Yeah. It's like, I'll just be here hanging out.
But it was incredible because, we've been working. I was there when they first got it back from sandblasting, and I got to see, just the crappy piece of junk that it was.
Yeah. I mean, the first started, everything that started.
Yeah. It's just exactly. I mean, it was just rough condition. And, just working throughout the year, all the body work, all the mechanical, just having, being a part of all of that and learning from all these amazing women. And that was actually really cool too, just hearing the stories of each of these women and how difficult it's been for them to be in a male dominated industry, just to even get their foot in, and to see the work that they do. And it's been incredible. So I've learned a lot, and I have a real appreciation for them for sure now.
Yeah. Well, and so I've got a little girl, and you guys have girls.
Yes.
And being parent, I like that there are things like this.
Yeah.
And that you can do that, and you can be this role model. And that's, I think, one of the reasons I show Hadley about that, and the fact that you kind of have that, the Wonder Woman mentality.
Yes, you see my Wonder Woman bracelet?
See? Yeah. But you're a mom. You've raised 2 girls that are successful. You guys homeschooled them, so you basically taught them their whole lives, and then you do cakes and baking, and that's
like
why your passion.
Sugar High. That's where that came from. That's my passion.
Did you bring any with you?
I'm
always hungry.
I have some macarons in the kitchen.
but just to see that, and then like one of my favorite things too is you guys as a couple are so powerful that it's nice to see just other either families or couples or people that can do these things together and enjoy life together instead of, sometimes you feel like you're always, maybe you're not seeing each other. Like you're saying, like you lived in the RV, but you were still close to her. You weren't in Montana while she's gone for 16 weeks working on the truck. Like you guys do stuff together. And I think that's a powerful message, in this day and age for marriage as well.
Oh yeah.
So kudos to you guys for that.
22 years we've been married.
It's pretty awesome. 10 years behind you, so
nice.
I'm catching up.
I'll tell you, it's better once the kids leave. It's a new honeymoon all over
again. I got a long ways to go before that.
This is the first time I've had pants on in a month.
Yeah, I know. See? Pretty impressive. but yeah, like I just like seeing it, and I like that you guys are such good role models, and not only for the industry, but for just parents and I guess people in our industry that are trying to do that. And you're always so cordial and nice to every single person that you meet. And that's something I try to emulate.
Oh, thank you.
So
thank you very
you're
much.
a very big, you guys are both awesome role models to me. And so I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Sorry to get a little serious there, but I had to. See, I just had to let him know. So it means awesome. A lot.
Yeah, we really try hard on that stuff. We want to be a role model for marriage. We feel like we've been given a small platform to show people that it's not perfect,
Yeah.
I mean, we joke and say, man, I wish my life was as cool as it is on Instagram. But we showed pictures of the Jeep when it was on fire.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, she's getting ready to freak out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what we have to do, right?
It's like,
We got to take a selfie. And it's smoldering in the background in that picture.
Somebody should be you're like, I've been crying. We don't get to know. Hold on a second.
No time. I also tell them that several years ago I was in a car accident. And, he showed up and the ambulance came and they had me on the backboard thing and they're getting ready to take me in. Sure enough, he jumps up. Time for a selfie. I was like, I'm gonna kill you. And it was on Facebook before I even got to the hospital. So.
Geez, Kevin, what happened to your wife?
So to my credit, I climbed in she had wrecked it so that the passenger doors were up against a wall, so you couldn't get out. So I climbed in, and then all the EMS guys climbed in with me. What else am I going to do but take pictures?
Hey, we're in here.
So we're in here. So I'm taking
the goal is that you want your grandkids to go through those photos.
Yeah.
That's I always tell my wife that is when we were at her grandparents' house digging. We've got a wall of, as we call it, our ancestor wall. It's our Carly's grandparents and my grandparents on both sides, and we've got and then if we found great grandparents' wedding photos, we put them up. So we've got them all on the wall, and it's just kind of fun. It helps teach our kids more and just where they came from and stuff. And so, but when we were getting those pictures, we were at Carly's grandma's house, and she found a picture of her grandma in a bathing suit. She was like, "Oh my gosh, Grandma, you were such a babe." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, my legs were fat. I just had my second kid. Like, I look horrible in that." And she was like, she goes, "No, that you look no, you're gorgeous. Like, you look amazing. Like, I love this picture of you because it's so candid. And it was just her on the beach." And now in this day where we can delete photos and go, "Oh, it doesn't look good. I need another one. We need to do this. Ah, man, look how bad my face looks." Where we have that ability to delete those photos. My wife and I have found that we'll go through and we'll take pictures of the kids or us doing something, and then we end up deleting them because it's like, I don't look at that one. I don't look good in that one. And then all of a sudden you get home and you're like, oh my gosh, we don't have any pictures of anything. Like, how did this happen? And so I love though that you guys have, you don't not care, but you grab that
just to own
spirit. Yeah, you own that spirit, and you take those. And I always try to remind myself and my wife is like, these pictures aren't for us.
Yeah.
They're for our posterity. They're for our grandkids and our great grandkids, just like these photos on our wall are. And it's so, we want them to see these and go, wow, look how cool our grandparents were. Look at all the fun adventures they had, or all the stuff they got to do. And so that's why I always try to remember this day and age. Don't
delete the photo. Don't delete them all. The only ones that are okay to delete is when you accidentally grab your phone, you're looking down, and it's on selfie mode, and then you're like, who is that guy? Oh my god,
it's like 90% chin and
Those are okay to delete. We still give you permission.
Well, we got some family pictures last night of my grandmother was in town, and so this is one of the photos that my sister sent us.
Oh, that's great.
And
great.
my kids are looking, and my boy's
cute.
making a weird face. And then we did another one where my daughter's like, yeah, Augie's, they're not even looking at the camera there. This one, Augie's making a pooping face. He's very constipated in it. My daughter's staring at him. But it's like,
those are the ones they'll treasure.
I like those because it's like she's got such a fun face, and it's neat to see. And then again, my sister got in that one with her daughter, and so it was all my mom and my grandma and my wife. And
20 years from now, they're going to appreciate it.
But I don't know if you guys can see these, but that's what they are. But it's just fun to have, I try and think about, like, okay, we didn't get a good, not all of us are staring at the camera, but it's fun to see and remember that stuff. So Anthony, you do that with your dogs.
I do. Well, I did. I actually got a bunch of pictures of, like, we were trying to take a nice family picture with me and my girlfriend and the dogs at that sea spot walk thing I did for the Humane Society, and our dogs would never look in the right direction, right? They're always turning around. So then eventually one of the pictures is me, is my girlfriend holding our dog. It's trying to jump out of her arms, and our one dog is just looking like
a golden retriever and then a puppy golden retriever.
Yeah. So the puppy's trying to jump out of the arms. My girlfriend's about to drop him. My other golden is looking like the goodest boy in the world, just staring straight with his tongue out. And I'm kind of like looking at her like, what's happening? And we got that picture, and I'm like, that's the good one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the good one.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's always good. So they call you the selfie king for a reason. So
as it turns out, creating an entire marketing platform around selfies is like a double-edged sword. It just sort of took a mind of its own. Last year at SEMA, we 537 individuals.
Man, that's pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty good.
And so like we've gotten at SEMA, it's a one take selfie.
I think I got 2 with you last year. So
he's got the really long arms.
People are like,
good at that.
You need a selfie stick. I'm like, dude,
no.
You saw this. I got a 6-foot wingspan.
I think I've gotten like 25 people.
Yeah,
with one,
that's pretty impressive.
You gotta have a talent, right?
The right size phone. You gotta fit your hand right.
Yeah, you gotta have strong hands.
You've got it optimized.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can crush cans with my hands.
We've been talking about that for SEMA.
Yeah.
So we've got some work shirts that we are making that I ordered the wrong color.
What, you did?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did. You were gone on Friday. So I ordered the wrong color. So we've got some shirts that we're making anyway.
Okay.
And what we're thinking about doing is doing a selfie contest where people have to do like a selfie scavenger hunt. Mm-hmm. You guys are gonna be one of the selfie.
Oh, cool.
Scavengers.
We volunteered you for it. So.
Yeah, just so you know.
Us personally, or like the Jeep, or what?
We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna build it all out, then we'll announce it on Facebook. But basically, everybody that's been a part of Detox or any of our podcast stuff or any of that, if you see them at SEMA, you have to get a selfie with them.
Nice.
And that's how we're gonna kind of go. And then the first person to show up with all those will get a work shirt that'll be embroidered with the logo, and on the back it'll have the Rag Company logo. It's not the colors we're going to be wearing.
But there's only a handful of
there's only a few of them.
How off was it?
So oh my gosh.
Is it orange?
No.
Is it orange and black?
So
I'll still wear that.
So we ordered black and gray work shirts, red cap, ripstop fabric work shirts, like the gas station style. And I meant to order the black with the charcoal gray, but I accidentally ordered the light gray with the charcoal gray.
Oh no!
So
I think those are the
light shade.
They're the ones that we don't. Yeah, I think those are the ones we use.
I think so. Yeah. So we got the black with the charcoal gray. So that's what we ordered. That's what we wanted. But I ended up putting in for the order to get.
Good.
They'll look fine.
It's
just no, they're going to be awesome. It's just the wrong color for what.
Them away,
well, so. Yeah, it's the wrong color for what we're trying to. We even took we took another page out of the Kevin Davis playbook for SEMA.
Man, we're just cribbing left and right.
Just so you know, what did we get that we're all going to be wearing? Anthony.
Oh yeah.
We've got matching shoes.
We got matching shoes.
Nice. So I now have these are my temporary pair. I bought a new pair of these and I bought black and blue ones.
Nice.
Also, these are awesome shoes, by the way. But I have 2 years ago I posted this picture. I had like 9 pairs of shoes.
That you took for SEMA. One for every day.
I took 2.
Plus 9.
Yeah.
You got
and the nighttime.
Yeah. Shoes. You got.
What are you, an animal? Like.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I have to start packing her shoes.
Yeah. Well, we're doing blue. We got some really cool blue Nikes that we're wearing that are all blue. Jeff noticed that and was like, we got to do that. We're gonna do this. So, and then I sent you a picture of these last winter.
Yeah, those
are my these are my urban Chucks. They're like my mountaineering Chucks.
Leather, right?
Yeah, they're leather with a lot more rubber around them.
I have 2 pairs of high tops that I have Detailer's Helper.
That's right.
On
nice.
Now, so,
yeah.
And I think I might brand these if I can find a place to put them.
But.
So we did
the
look into that. I still haven't finished it, but we were looking at making little patches to put on our shoes. But no, we're not. We don't know. It's getting close.
Yeah, you're
running out of time.
We're already in over our heads, and we're like trying to like backpedal, but we're busy.
Yeah, SEMA prep has been crazy for us, just trying to figure it all out.
Hashtag SEMA prep.
I did the same thing on my shirts. The first shirts that I got, I had embroidered.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a great idea until you take a circle that's
that
13 inches. It's like take a piece of plywood, cut a circle out of it, and stick it in your shirt.
Yeah.
So those are like in my closet now. I need to give them away.
You could take a bullet,
do that
right?
too. Yeah, take a bullet.
I think you take a bullet.
I get the bill. It's like 4,500,000 stitches. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Here's $100.
It also makes you a big target.
Yeah. Well, we're embroidering the front, and then we're just silk screening the back.
Yeah.
And we're doing just 2 colors. So just the blue and the white. We're going to use the black as the background, so that way we don't sweat on our backs. And then
you putting the logo over here or in the middle?
We're putting the logo in the back, on the back in the center, and then on the front it'll be on the.
So this is a Von Hotrod thing. So you know my buddy Von Hotrod, who's the pinstriper.
Put the logo in the center.
The problem with putting it on the side is if you wear a jacket,
you can't see it.
See the logos.
Well, that's why
we have the Iron. Yeah, mine's an Iron Man. So
yeah. Well, then we're doing shirts like this, the same shirt, but we're silk screening the front of those. This was a heat seal we made.
Yeah.
And we didn't like them at all. So
not a fan
we
of
did
heat
it.
Seals. No.
Yeah, not a fan of heat seals. The shirt's awesome. So we bought more of these. We're silk screening the front and then doing the back too. We're doing a silk screen on the back.
Nice.
We got our test back. That looked awesome.
Yeah.
It felt really good.
Yeah, really good.
So we got those, but we got those in black and white, and we're going to do this logo in white on the black and white shirt.
I love the logo too.
That's all Dane.
That's all Dane right there. Dane, Dane, take credit for something over there. You did great.
I tried and it worked out. Yeah.
Everybody likes it.
But so you do really good on all your stuff because we're stealing some of it from you.
Well, I probably stole it from somewhere.
You never know.
Honor the source, Levi. Honor the source.
It's all from him.
That's all right, man. Just take away whatever you want.
But we've been having fun with it. So it does make it fun though to have all these different things. But like I said, we thought about doing I'm not going to talk about that part, but I'll tell you guys off that. One of our ideas we were going to do.
Fun idea we were going to have for SEMA.
We still are probably going to do it for next year if we get a bigger space. Yeah. So
we need more space.
A little more
room for activities.
There you go. Yeah. We had selfie contest. We usually do some sort of selfie contest. Last year we had people that were taking selfies of us taking selfies with other people.
I remember that.
That was like
selfie.
It was a meta. Yeah.
I think you go back in time if you get one more layer. So I don't know. That was pretty fun though.
Yeah. Watch out for the kick.
So speaking of SEMA, Jeep is going to be in the North Hall.
In what booth?
It's
Razor
in the
Automotive?
Razor Auto booth, which is just as you come in the door, one of those doors in the North Hall. So
you're basically centrally located. You're right in the middle of that South Hall.
South Hall, not North Hall.
Upper South Hall.
Upper South Hall, right.
Yeah. So all the other Jeeps and
so that's where Sugar High will be, and then the montage is in BASF.
The BASF booth,
booth, which is
and that's in the center. Central?
Well, yeah, it's sort of behind the Ford, the huge Ford booth.
Yes,
it's sort of back behind that.
Okay, on the
in the
front central.
I hear that one's pretty hard to miss. So
yeah,
the Ford booth is very hard to miss.
The Ford booth goes through like the entire building, doesn't it? Right, technically,
it does basically split the building in half.
And we have Wayne Carini.
Yeah, you'll have Wayne with you. That'll be cool.
Yeah. So that was a deal with we able to secure with McKee's. And
that'll be cool.
He's sponsor. So he's actually going to do 2 days, which is cool. He's going to do an hour.
Better.
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday. Nice. So
autograph signing and stuff.
Autograph signings, hanging out, talking cars and all that, which is sort of an interesting hybrid between the hot rod scene and car scene, and then the off road scene. Yeah. So we're trying to introduce and merge those two markets.
Well, and it's that Upper South Hall is starting to become one of the hottest areas, or one of the largest areas for SEMA, to the point that they're because that is such a growing industry with the Jeep. And this year, the new body style Jeep is debuting.
Yeah.
So
in the Jeep, there are more aftermarket parts for Jeeps than any other vehicle ever.
Right.
Yeah. So there's tons of aftermarket.
It's going to be probably 10 years from now. It'll be probably as big as they'll probably find space for. Yeah. That'll be bigger than Central.
Yeah. As we found out, you can replace pretty much every part.
Yeah, basically, which is pretty nice. There's not many vehicles you can do it.
Oh, yeah, I got those.
Yeah. We live in the middle of nowhere. There is no guy. Yeah. The guy is either Amazon or internet. Yeah, so I become the guy.
So where were you guys before you moved to Montana, and why'd you move to Montana?
Well,
you can take that one. We were running from the FBI.
Yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
Make it sound accusatory.
With the first few years of our marriage, we lived in 9 different places or something.
Because you're outside of Bozeman?
We're outside of Bozeman now. So we had moved around. We'd lived in Dallas and Phoenix area and stuff. We actually ended up in Connecticut for a while. That's where both of our kids were born, and that's when he was working in the computer industry, working for a
fitness. So my degree is in exercise physiology, and I have a second degree in business. And so I went to work. I ran huge health clubs in Phoenix. Then I went to work for a software company that networks fitness equipment. Okay. Startup company. This was when the .com days were going on and all that. And so ended up in Connecticut.
And then he decided, with our family, our lifestyles and everything, he wanted to be around more with the kids. And so he got into the whole programming side, decided he wanted to be a programmer. So we knew we couldn't stay in Connecticut because it was really expensive there. And we wanted to be closer to family too.
Okay. So you're family's over there?
My family's in Montana, over by us in Montana. But at first we didn't want to. We want to be close, but not too close.
Right.
So we decided 4 to 5 hour range would be
there
good.
You go.
So
that's not too bad.
We ended up in Pocatello, Idaho. We were there for the first couple of years, and in that time, the whole web thing really took off for him. So that worked out great. But being that close to family, we suddenly realized that whole grandchild relationship was so important. Yeah. And we would see them, but then they'd have to leave, and the kids would cry, and then we were just kind of we do want to be closer. So then we ended up moving back, and we now live about an hour from my parents, which is a really nice distance because we can see them, but yet we're not in each other's.
Like a surprise, I was in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So now we've been there 13 years. So
we've been there a while.
Well, and you've got a nice place, and you've got a gorgeous view.
Yeah, we do.
Back of your porch there.
I generaled the house. Michelle and I did all the tile work. We did all the decks. Michelle and I did all the flooring. So we were able to build a much bigger house than we would have been able to afford otherwise. Yeah. And then I have a shop and all that. I have the 2-post lift in my shop, which was like the goal of my life was to never crawl underneath.
Yeah.
So.
And I didn't understand it at the time when he wanted to get it. I was like, man, that's expensive. But now that
you're out there with him, you're like,
I'm so glad you did that.
Who's that crazy person that said you didn't want this? It wasn't me. I know that.
So, a little advice: if you're ever going to build a shop, figure out a way to put a lift in.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's that someday maybe for me. My dad still hasn't built a lift in his shop. He built it so that he could do the lift. Still hasn't done one yet. But Anthony used to work for bodybuilding.com.
Yeah, so he knows.
You may have seen him in the on the pictures. If you're looking to buy a T-shirt.
I'm sure I photoshopped my head on you.
You probably have. Yeah.
No, that was back in the day.
You guys want to check out some of these photos, you go to All Day Anthony on Instagram.
So
you want to embarrass him real good. You'll find
and you were succeeding in the embarrassment.
Look how red he is.
That was back in the day, and so I'm looking at being a pro detailer.
So what did you do for?
I did
bodybuilding.
I did promotional sales, marketing. I physically put all of our promotions on the website. So I did a lot. I did some coding. I'm not the OG
he
like
did the
you.
visual stuff.
I didn't make the internet, but I do know how to Control C and Control V pretty much everything. Oh. But no, I did a lot of the promotional sales, and I coordinated pretty much every major sale that we'd have on the website. So it was a lot of back end stuff, a lot of back end analytics and reporting and things like that. But a lot of cool, fun marketing things as well. And so I got to be roped in for photo shoots.
He modeled.
And
that's what he's getting at. He modeled.
I'm just saying, he's being modest.
But
get out of here. Get out of those pictures. There was some fun stuff I got to do there. But I mean, but so far, I gotta say that I'm having a more fun time here, and I get to go to SEMA. Right?
Yeah, you get to go to SEMA this time.
I didn't get to do that with bodybuilding, so this is true.
Now, were you the one that like put all those T-shirts in that keep getting sent to my husband every time?
Basically, probably.
So bodybuilding.com T-shirts.
Dude, those things
like half
fit great. I don't know who designed the fit of those things, but like I look huge in those shirts, so I wear them.
I don't know if you guys saw this one or not.
They were
Tricep Tuesday.
They were meant to make you look good. I'll be honest. I think when they created, there was like, how can we make? I mean, no offense, like an average looking person feel bigger, right? And
I don't know how to take
I don't think I want to look bigger.
I'm talking
been a long year there, Anthony. Thanks a lot,
He's been living in a motorhome for 16 weeks, man,
like
this year.
The masses, because
cool.
like you want to keep people motivated. So if you give somebody that has never lifted a day in their life this shirt and they put it on, they're like, wow, this feels so tighter on my arms, and I'm feeling like I'm looking big. Then that's a positive.
That's what
right?
I did for the rag company shirts too.
Well, and the bonus is that no man boobs.
I
literally bought a shirt on the internet once, and it gave me man boobs, and it asked the reason for your return. Gives me man boobs.
Yeah.
I wrote it down and sent it back.
You want them to know. You want them to know.
They need to know. That's too funny.
Some of us still got to look at it.
He's smiling. Nothing to see here, guys.
Yeah.
That's too funny, man. This is fun.
I
had to start
designing our shirts.
Yeah, I had to keep all those in mind, including myself, because I've gained weight since I've had to sit at a desk.
Nice.
Instead of actually detailing.
I know, we make them so comfy and cozy. It's like,
I know. Start hanging out.
It's all the food here. It's always food. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, every day we show up.
Carolyn is the owner.
Yeah.
And her name's Carolyn Hennen.
Yeah.
And we call her Mama Hen.
Dane's mom.
Mom. I just call her Mom.
Yeah.
We all call her Mama Hen because she likes to make sure we all eat.
Yeah.
And she literally, like Dylan, when he was here,
y'all are fed.
he was like, he goes, man, I'm kind of hungry. I was like, well, we do have a sandwich shop here.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And we walk in, and in our kitchen downstairs, we've got 5 types of bread. You open up the fridge, there's 6 or 7 different types of lunch meat.
Yep.
3 or 4 different types of cheeses.
Nice.
What do we have? Maybe 5 different types of mayonnaise, 6 different types of mustard, and then we have peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
And so she just I saw that and I was like, who did all this? And she goes, oh, I do. I just want to make sure if you guys can't get out to eat, like, you can just make yourself a sandwich. And
want to make sure you guys are fed.
Yeah, and we were like,
it's good.
It's pretty awesome. Thanks. Yeah. And we have a guy that works for us. He's a refugee from the Congo, and she said she was worried that maybe doesn't know that he can take a lunch, or is not sure that he can, or doesn't know, and so she always wanted to make sure that there was food, that he could make a sandwich whenever he felt like it, just to kind of ease that transition for him, that hey, if you want a sandwich, go make one.
I want to say that I taught him how to make his first. Actually, made him his first peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because he hasn't had a lot of American food.
Yeah.
And so he was looking at what I was making one day. I'm like, Maki, you ever had one of these? He looks at me and he's like, no, I've never had one. And so I get some peanut butter, throw on some jelly, right? And I even cut it in half for him and everything. And I'm like, try. He takes a bite of it. His like eyes light up. I'm like, that is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's
I'm sorry I didn't cut off the crust. But get to know that part's pretty good too. So and since then every day he's making one. Yeah, and I taught him how to make a peanut butter and honey sandwich. And now we need to bring some bananas in, so we can bring a banana honey peanut butter sandwich and mix it up. But
Carolyn saw me making a triple decker peanut butter jelly. She was like, triple decker? And I was like, yeah. She goes, I have never seen anybody make one of those. I'm like, is it okay?
Yeah. Is this okay? Is the extra bread?
Am I using that extra third slice? It shouldn't be there. But no,
so the eternal question, though, is did you teach him to make it correctly? So did you do peanut butter on both bread? With jelly in the middle, so you don't get soggy bread.
That's how I do it.
That's exactly. So what I do is I put the peanut butter on both. I put it on. Basically what I do is put peanut butter on one side. I can't believe we're talking about this. I put the peanut butter on one side.
Detailing
one side. And then I wipe the knife on the other side, right? And then what I do is I close them together and then pull them apart.
Oh yeah, you married them. You married them.
I marry them together,
and
so
what kind of sorcery are you talking
and so then I just pull them apart, and then that's
it's called priming the bread.
Yeah, prime the bread. That's right.
Typically, if you're wearing a rubber glove,
he takes a little knife and he hits it on the surface of the bread 5 or 6 times.
Tap it a couple times to get it ready.
Anthony, why are you using the new Rupa's pad knife for that? What?
I just have my hybrid spreading some.
I'm pretty sure the hybrid is just Ritz crackers.
But so I taught him how to do that, and he loves that. So I was actually talking about how we need it's cool. We're gonna call it Maki Tries Everything Day, where each one of us brings in like some type of traditional American food. My girlfriend gave me some good ideas. She said bring s'mores.
He doesn't eat pork.
No pork, but so we'll bring s'mores. I was thinking, I can't remember what I was thinking. S'mores would be good. I was thinking root beer floats would be good as well. I love root beer. I had one the other day. It was delicious.
Spam.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. No, it's got pork in it. Yeah. I think you can get all beef spam.
Yeah.
Or turkey spam.
Yeah. There you go.
You can, but
I love spam.
We'll have to mix up and have like a buffet here one day.
Most versatile smorgasbord that ever was.
That's right. Yeah. Some sloppy joes. Because it's sloppy. There's all sorts of American food.
There's always something we're doing here, and whether it's food and getting excited about new events and new things going on. Yeah, it's always a fun day at work.
Yeah. Yep.
We try to have a good time, and like all day today, everyone was like, when is Kevin and Michelle coming? When are they going to be?
Yeah, I kept texting. I'm an hour behind. Now I'm an hour and a half behind. Now I'm 2 hours behind.
Sitting. So tonight you're going to drive. Are you going to drive some more if you can?
Yeah, we have to be in Reno by like before noon tomorrow.
Going from here to Reno,
whichever way the GPS tells me to go. I have no idea.
This is why he's not my navigator.
Yeah, this is why I'm not navigating.
Yeah,
I think you're good.
Yeah, you head towards Nampa and then you go up towards Winnemucca and just take it from there. But
I think that's how you do it. So you're on path to go to.
Trying to remember, it's like 5 or 6 hours from here. So.
Reno?
Yeah, we're just going to get a couple more. I'm usually good. Like, I would have made a great long haul trucker. Like, for us, 15 hours in the motorhome is no big deal. Yeah, so I usually good till 11.
You guys trade off?
No, I go back and sleep on the bed.
I'm one of those, like, 6.5 or 7 hour guys. She's like an 8 to 9 hour girl. So I usually get up at 6 in the morning. I'll drive. She's up by, I don't know, 8:30 or 9. I mean, it like rocks you to sleep.
It's
so
like,
she'll sleep. She'll sleep back
it's
there
just
forever.
It's like being in a boat.
And the dogs will cuddle up with me, and it's heaven. So
so it works out good, and it doesn't bother me at all. I'll just sit and drive. It's no big deal. So you just don't get in a hurry because 60 miles an hour with a big gasser.
Sounds like the wind makes sure you're not getting anywhere too quickly either.
Right. Well, I mean, you can, but you get 2.5 miles to the gallon.
Yvonne was saying that his new bus has the diesel, and he loves everything about that.
He is all about the buses, man. He's been trying to convert me from motorhome to bus. He was trying to get
my dad. He was like, your dad needs to buy a bus. He doesn't need a motorhome.
But for us, the problem for me is no slide out. Like that thing has a full slide out on that
that's
side.
How my dad has that.
It adds like 60 square feet.
It becomes a real living room.
Yeah. Especially if you have to live in it like we do for a while, so. That's why we're
That
stuck with the motorhome.
That makes sense. Unless you could put a engineer slide out into your. That's a lot of money.
You can, but it's a little bit of a challenge. It's a little bit of challenge.
A lot of money, yeah.
Do that vertical pop up.
Oh yeah. Take the roof off and pop that. Yeah. You got cathedral ceilings here.
It's
not wider, but
style.
hey,
He's got a really nice trailer.
They do there.
His is a double decker.
That go up. Yeah, I forgot about those buses that you can do that with.
The big old Greyhound style.
Yeah.
No, that's something. No, my dad. He didn't want a bus because he's already got a bunch of old cars.
Yeah.
So he's like, I already got projects. This one I just want to get in and go
More projects.
do stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that makes it.
I couldn't afford that. I had to buy something that. Oh well, what's going to blow up now? We had 2 front blowouts this year.
Yeah, that's right. You did.
So.
And they were brand new tires.
One of them was, they were brand new tires. One of them was just a crappy tire. The tire company replaced it. But both on the driver's side, front blowout, which is very exciting when you're driving.
Oh, I can imagine. And towing.
Right, and towing. And then the other one was that trip where we off-roaded the motorhome for like 18 miles.
I remember that.
I was telling Jeff that we ended up coming back from Colorado, took a highway that we thought was the right highway, and ended up literally on like a Jeep trail, towing the Jeep behind us in the motorhome.
It was exciting.
It was exciting. I took pictures, just cows everywhere. Like these were not roads at all.
But you couldn't turn around because we were towing.
You couldn't get in there.
But we ended up with a ton of downhill, and we couldn't get off the road, so we overheated the front brakes, and then it blew the tire. Yeah, so. But both cases, we were very excited because literally we could have died on the first one because we were in mountain passes. As soon as we got onto a straightaway with a shoulder, the tire blew. Second time we had 17 miles of nowhere to turn at all. We got to the very first little area to a turnout. Tire blew right there, and we were like a scene from a Christmas Story. We're like, all right, time me. So, like 30 minutes, we had that thing changed and back on the road. So
that's awesome.
We make the most of it, and of course, we took selfies on both.
That's right.
Of course. Yeah.
I remember the first one, and I think I just saw that the tire had blown the second. I didn't know it was out on dirt. That's insane. So. You get down there, tomorrow, and then you're there till Thursday. Then the rally starts Thursday. So you tech inspection and all that stuff.
We have tech inspection on Thursday, actually. Okay. Yeah, that's on Thursday.
And they have rally school Wednesday morning, or rally school, but a rally.
It's a navigation training,
just to make sure everybody's up to par.
Yeah, so that's like for 3 hours on Wednesday.
And then do you have GPS trackers in your helmet?
No, they
the Jeep,
they put little trackers in the vehicle. Yeah, in the Jeep. We have that, and we each have a sat phone as well. So so they keep track of us, and it's on.
You get penalized if you use a sat phone.
Yeah, right? if we have to use or call in for help or anything, there's penalties. Yeah,
time penalties.
It's point based.
Point based, okay.
Yeah,
because the whole thing's points, not
time. The whole thing. Yeah, it's not a race for speed. It's all point.
It's based on if you did if you just did the easy points the whole way, you get a certain amount.
Right.
If you pick some of the hard lines for all that stuff, it may take you longer, but you get more points.
Right.
But there's more chance of breakage or.
That's true, but then there's also on the navigation side of it, the easiest ones. There's actually a huge flag so you know that you've made it to that point. Okay. The intermediate ones, which are the blue checkpoints, they have like a blue stick in the ground that you're finding.
So they may get a little.
And then the black ones, there's nothing. You just when you get there, we have a little handheld device thing. We have to click it, and you just points, and you get points within. You have to be within a certain radius of the exact point for that. So.
And that's real compass map. Trying to figure out
the whole thing is
GPS.
Taking headings and all that. Right?
Yeah, you're constant. You're in and out of the vehicle. That's what people say. Rally, they think, you're speeding through the desert. It's like no, we're actually stopping constantly to get out, take headings, and
make
realign.
Sure you're in the right spot.
Exactly.
So the little Sunto commercial where she's wearing the rag company.
Which, by the way, I'm bringing that again. I love that beanie.
Thank you.
She's taking a heading. She's taking a heading for that. So
no, Jeff loved that photo. So we've got that on there and. We're going to give you guys some shirts, too. So
awesome.
That way you guys have some for that. but I don't got anything.
Yeah, so I'll be obsessively watching on RebelleRally.com.
So you can,
because I can watch her and track, you know, and then every time she stops for more than like 15 minutes, I'm like, oh crap, the Jeep's broken.
What happened? Yeah.
So because last year when they wrecked, she had to call me because they needed to know what the gear ratio was in the axle. So I'm in the middle of San Diego I-5. Going from LA to San Diego.
Mall shopping.
No, like I'm going 60 miles an hour. She calls me. I was like, you know, I like cut off all the traffic so I could get off and talk. And so then I had to go into, because the Jeep was going to be in SEMA.
Yeah, that's right.
Just like this year, it's back in SEMA. So we have 4 days between the end of the rally when we get home, go back to Vegas for SEMA.
Yeah.
So she wrecked it.
Yeah.
You
had to fit. Yeah, you had to.
So I called the shop
you
where
took
they.
The top off.
Well, we would anyway for SEMA, but we sort of
the back window.
the back window was out, but I ended up calling the shop where they went first. Called the owner and said, "Listen, I'm not allowed to talk to her. I'm not allowed to. They don't even know that. Can't even know I'm here calling or whatever." And he texted me pictures of the Jeep all over.
Like, I gotta fix
so I had, by the time we got back from the rally, all the parts were at the house.
You ordered them all.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so then I went like 30 hours without sleep getting the Jeep ready.
Yeah. Well, you did good. I remember when it was there, we looked at Matt and I wandered around it and stuff, and you were showing us the little spots and
the rear deck. We didn't have time for the rear tailgate.
But you did fix the. You've even fixed the OptiCoat bed liner.
Yep, fixed that, and the fix is still there actually. Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Check out detailershelper.com.
Yep.
Helperbrands.com. Right?
Yeah.
The helper, whatever.
Yeah, it's basically help. If you go to helpertoolbelts.com, you'll see our consumer version. So if you're a detailer and get your wife one, get your kids one, or whatever.
Follow Kevin and Michelle on Facebook, Instagram, Sugar High Motorsports.
For all that selfie action.
All that good stuff.
That's right.
Detailers Helper.
Official. Detailers Helper official, and then Detailers Helper on Facebook and all that,
And then you don't get to post anything. You'll be the one posting stuff for the rally as to what you guys are doing for your waypoints and
through the rally too, through RebelleRally.com. You can go on and they are going to have live tracking so that everyone will be able to see where we won't know where we're at, but they will know where we're at. Yeah, and you'll keep up with points and all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're going to see these guys in Vegas for SEMA for sure. So we're excited to catch up
that'll
to
be
you
fun.
guys.
And we'll be doing more podcasts down there, too.
We are going to be doing podcasts down there. We're going to have everybody.
We'll have to interview you again and see how it went.
There you go.
So we want that to be a super boring podcast. Like everything went totally according to plan.
It's perfect. If work performed flawlessly, it actually didn't even get dirty. I don't have to do anything.
Hovered over the.
I just hit it with a leaf blower. And
there you go.
Worked amazing. I didn't think she went on the rally. I dropped her off and left. Right at the end.
Tracker shows you're out in the ocean.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, good guys. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks for driving out here tonight and hanging out with us. And
thanks for waiting.
No problem.
We
Anytime.
appreciate it.
So. Make sure you check out Detailer's Helper and the Rebelle Rally and Sugar High Motorsports, and check out Kevin and Michelle. Subscribe below and like this video. Tell your friends. And for more videos and podcasts,
check out The Rag Company. The podcast is on YouTube and on iTunes and shoutengine.com. Otherwise, check these guys out. And that's that.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See ya. He's going to get a Detailer's Helper.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yes, goodbye.
Bye-bye.